Hello, welcome back to Daily English Podcast. We're really happy you're here. I'm Emma.
And I'm Jack. And on this channel, we help you practice real, everyday English.
Today's topic sounds kind of wild at first. We're talking about 300 words you need to be fluent, and I know some of you are already thinking, wait, only 300?
Yes, right, because most learners think fluency means knowing 10,000 words and crying over vocabulary lists at midnight.
Exactly, and that's the problem. People collect words like Pokemon, but they still freeze when someone says, hey, what's up?
And then they panic. Even though they know the words, they just don't know how to use them in real life.
So today, we're not promising magic or shortcuts, but we are showing how a small group of words can unlock real conversations.
The kind where you don't sound like a textbook or a robot from 1998.
Over the next episodes, we'll break this down slowly, with examples, mistakes, and a little bit of pain.
And maybe a few laughs, because language learning without humor is just suffering, right?
So let's start with the big question. Do you really need thousands of words to sound fluent, or is that just a scary myth?
That's where things get interesting, and maybe uncomfortable. So let's get into it. When people hear the word fluent, they imagine speaking perfectly. No pauses, no mistakes, like a movie character ordering coffee with dramatic confidence.
But that version of fluency doesn't even exist for native speakers, so chasing it is a little unfair, don't you think?
Totally. I mean, native speakers forget words all the time. We say things like, "What's that word again?" and somehow life goes on.
Exactly, and no one hands you a grammar book and says, sorry, you failed English today.
So, real fluency is simpler. It's about getting your message across without stress, even if the sentence isn't perfect.
And that's where the 300 words idea comes in, because these are words you reuse again and again in different situations.
Think about it. Words like get, make, go, think, feel, they're everywhere.
Yes, and learners often ignore them because they seem too basic, which is kind of ironic.
Right. People memorize fancy words like nevertheless, but freeze when they need to say, I don't get it.
And honestly, I don't get it will save your life in conversations.
So the goal here isn't to sound smart. It's to sound natural and relaxed.
And once you feel relaxed, that's when English finally starts working for you. But there's one mistake almost everyone makes next. The biggest mistake is learning words one by one, instead of learning how words work together.
Yes, exactly. People ask, what does this word mean? But they never ask, how do people actually use it?
Take a simple word like get. You can get tired, get ready, get home, get angry, get better. It's doing all the heavy lifting.
And learners see that and think, that's confusing, I'll skip it, which is the worst move.
Right, because native speakers love flexible words. We reuse them everywhere, like a favorite hoodie.
Fancy words are nice, but basic words show up every single day, whether you're at work or just complaining about traffic.
Another mistake is waiting until you're ready to speak.
Yes, and that moment never comes. You don't wake up fluent one morning like it's a software update.
Fluency grows while you're speaking, making mistakes, fixing them, and moving on. And those 300 words give you something solid to stand on, even when your grammar is having a bad day. So instead of asking, how many words do I know? The better question is, how many words can I actually use?
And that question leads us straight into how these 300 words are chosen and why they matter so much. So, how do you even choose the right 300 words? Because it's not random, and it's definitely not the longest words in the dictionary.
Yes, exactly. These words are chosen because they show up everywhere. Conversations, emails, movies, small talk, even arguments.
Think of them as the backbone of English. Without them, everything sounds stiff or incomplete.
And with them, you can build hundreds of sentences, even if your grammar isn't perfect yet.
Another key thing is frequency. If a word is used 10 times a day by native speakers, it deserves your attention.
Right, but if a word only appears in exams or old novels, maybe it can wait a little.
These 300 words usually fall into groups: verbs, nouns, connectors, and reaction words.
Reaction words are my favorite because they help you sound human, not like a translation app.
Words like actually, really, kind of. They're small but powerful.
Yes, and once you start using them, people stop switching to slow English when they talk to you.
So the goal isn't memorizing a list, it's learning how these words behave in real life.
And that brings us to the first group you absolutely can't avoid: verbs that run your entire day. If English had a control panel, everyday verbs would be the buttons you press nonstop.
Yes, verbs like get, make, go, come, take, give, and find. They're everywhere.
What's funny is that learners often underestimate them because they look simple.
Exactly, but simple doesn't mean weak. These verbs are like Swiss Army knives.
Take the word make. You make a decision, make a mistake, make dinner, make someone laugh.
And you don't need 10 different verbs when the word make already does the job just fine.
Or the word get. You get ready, get home, get better, get annoyed, get the point.
Honestly, if you master get, you unlock half of English conversations.
Native speakers don't stop to think about it. We just reuse the same verbs with different meanings.
And that's the secret. Fluency is repetition, not variety.
So instead of learning 5 new fancy verbs today, learn one basic verb deeply.
Yes, and learn it in phrases, not alone, because nobody speaks in single words.
And once you control these verbs, conversations feel lighter and faster. And then you're ready for the next layer, nouns you actually talk about every single day. Verbs move the sentence, but nouns give it something to hold on to.
Exactly. Most daily conversations use the same small group of nouns again and again. Think about words like time, people, place, work, thing, problem, idea.
They're not exciting, but they show up in almost every conversation you have.
Native speakers say thing constantly. That thing, one thing, the whole thing.
And learners panic because they think it's too vague, but vagueness is very natural in real speech.
Same with stuff. We talk about work stuff, life stuff, random stuff.
Yes, and nobody stops you and says, please be more specific, unless you're in a meeting.
These nouns help you keep speaking even when you forget the exact word. They buy you time, and time is confidence in disguise. Another big one is people. We don't always say customers or colleagues. We just say people.
And everyone understands, which is kind of the goal. So if you can talk about time, people, work, and problems, you can survive most conversations.
But to sound truly natural, you need the glue, the small words that connect everything. Connector words are tiny, but they control the flow of your English.
Right. Without them, your sentences sound correct, but kind of robotic. Words like and, but, so, because, though. Native speakers lean on these words constantly, especially but and so. And this is interesting because it lets you disagree politely.
Exactly. You can say, I see your point, but I'm not sure. And suddenly the conversation stays friendly. And the word so is everywhere. I was tired, so I left. It was raining, so yeah.
Sometimes, so doesn't even finish the sentence, and everyone still understands. Learners often try to sound formal, using words like therefore.
Which is fine, but in daily life, word so wins every time. Another connector people forget is a actually. And it's perfect for correcting yourself or adding a soft surprise.
These words don't add meaning, they add smoothness. And smoothness is what makes people feel comfortable talking to you, which leads us to reaction words.
Reaction words are what you say while you're thinking, not after you finish thinking. They're the little noises and phrases that prove you're alive, not buffering. Words like yeah, right, oh, wow, okay, and really.
Native speakers use them every few seconds, even when they're not adding new information. And that's important because silence can feel awkward in English conversations.
Right. A small yeah or uh-huh tells the other person, I'm with you, keep going. Learners often stay quiet because they're scared of interrupting. But in English, these reactions aren't interruptions, they're encouragement.
Another big one is, I mean. It's perfect when you want to fix a sentence without stopping the conversation. Reaction words help you stay in the flow, even when your sentence isn't ready yet.
And once you're in the flow, confidence starts to sneak in, which changes everything. But confidence also depends on how you talk about feelings, not just facts.
Exactly. And that brings us to emotional words people use way more than they realize. When learners talk about feelings, they often think they need big, dramatic words.
Right. But in real life, we keep it simple because emotions change fast. Words like happy, tired, stressed, excited, annoyed, fine. And the word fine is doing a lot of work there. It can mean good, bad, or please don't ask.
Native speakers don't analyze emotions like a psychology textbook. Exactly. We say, I'm tired, not, I am experiencing physical exhaustion.
Another favorite is I'm kind of nervous. I kind of like it. It softens everything and gives you safety when you're not 100% sure.
Learners sometimes avoid feeling words because they feel too personal, but small feelings are part of daily talk. Work, plans, weather, even food.
Saying, I'm a bit tired or I'm excited about it makes conversations warmer. And warmth matters because people respond to how you feel, not just what you say.
Once you can express basic feelings, people stop treating you like a language learner. They start treating you like a person, and that's a huge shift.
But feelings alone aren't enough. You also need words for everyday situations, the moments that fill most of your day without you noticing.
Most English conversations aren't deep or dramatic. They're about small, repeated situations that happen again and again. And that's why situation-based words matter more than rare vocabulary.
Think about how often you talk about plans, delays, problems, or changes. You say things like, I'm running late, something came up, or let's do it later, without thinking.
Learners sometimes know the grammar, but they don't know these everyday phrases. And that's when conversations feel stressful, even if your English is technically correct.
Words like plan, change, problem, reason, issue, and idea show up everywhere. You don't need advanced words when simple ones already work perfectly.
Native speakers rarely say, this presents a significant complication. We just say, yeah, there's a problem, and move on. Another huge situation is time.
Yes, time controls everything. Work, meetings, travel, and excuses. We say now, later, soon, already, still, right now. And these words let you sound natural even when your sentence is short.
Short sentences aren't bad English, they're confident English. Another daily situation is not knowing something.
And instead of staying silent, natives say things like, I'm not sure, or I don't know yet. Learners often feel embarrassed to say that. But saying, I don't know, is actually very fluent behavior.
These small situation words reduce pressure, and less pressure means your brain works better, which is kind of important. Once you handle daily situations, conversations stop feeling scary. These small situation words reduce pressure, and less pressure means your brain works better, which is kind of important. Once you handle daily situations, conversations stop feeling scary.
But to keep them smooth, you also need polite words that soften your English. Politeness in English isn't about sounding fancy or using long sentences.
Right. It's about making things softer so people feel comfortable around you. Words like please, thanks, sorry, excuse me do a lot of work.
And they're not just polite, they're social tools that keep conversations smooth. Native speakers say sorry for everything.
Exactly. Sorry for being late. Sorry for interrupting. The word sorry, just existing sometimes. Learners worry they're apologizing too much.
But honestly, that's better than sounding cold or aggressive by accident. Another big trick is saying could instead of can. Could you help me? Sounds softer than can you help me, even though both are correct.
And then there's another words kind of and a bit. Yes, they lower the pressure. I'm a bit busy feels nicer than I'm busy.
Polite English isn't weak English. It's smart English because it keeps doors open. Once you get this right, people relax around you.
And when people relax, conversations last longer, which leads to more practice. But politeness changes depending on where you are.
Exactly. And that brings us to casual English versus formal English. One thing learners struggle with is knowing when English should be casual or formal.
Yes, exactly. Because textbooks usually teach formal English first, even though people rarely speak that way. Casual English is what you hear with friends, coworkers, and even strangers.
It's shorter, softer, and sometimes incomplete, but everyone understands it. For example, natives say, "sounds good," instead of "that is acceptable."
The key is balance, not perfection. You want to sound friendly, clear, and relaxed, not like you're reading a report.
Once you understand this difference, conversations feel less stressful, and that stress disappearing is usually the moment people feel fluent for the first time.
And that realization removes a huge amount of pressure from your brain. Using your 300 core words helps a lot here. They act like a safety net, so you're never completely stuck or silent.
Use the same verbs, nouns, and phrases until they feel boring. Boring is actually a good sign. It means the language is becoming automatic.
Learners often quit right before this stage. They think nothing is happening, but everything is happening quietly. Tracking progress helps here.
Not tests, but noticing things like faster replies or fewer pauses. Those small signs mean the habit is working.
And once the habit is strong, fluency becomes stable. Stable fluency is powerful. It doesn't disappear when life gets busy. At this point, English feels less like a goal. It feels like part of who you are. And that brings us to the final message we want to leave you with.
Yes, the one thing every fluent speaker eventually understands. After everything we've talked about, fluency looks very different than most people expect.
Yes, exactly. It's not about sounding impressive or knowing rare words. Fluency is about feeling calm when you speak. It's knowing you can handle the moment, even if your English isn't perfect.
Those 300 words give you control. Control over conversations, reactions, and your own confidence. Emma, fluent speakers don't win every conversation. Those 300 words give you control. Control over conversations, reactions, and your own confidence. Fluent speakers don't win every conversation.
They just stay in the conversation without fear. Mistakes still happen, but they don't stop the message or the connection.
When you stop chasing perfection, English becomes lighter, and when it becomes lighter, you use it more. If you take one thing from this series, let it be this: fluency grows from use, not knowledge. Use your English even when it feels messy, especially when it feels messy.
Thank you for spending this time with us. We're really glad you're here and learning with us. If you enjoyed this episode, keep practicing with us. And remember, simple English can take you very far.